Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bree and this is More Than Words by Bree. Today's gonna look a little bit different. It's not going to be a DIY project, but it's still creative. I'm gonna be submitting poems into 2 poetry competitions, but I'm just gonna be chilling in this little cozy corner. I hope you found a cozy corner so we can relax together, and welcome to my first episode of Bree's Poetry Corner. I'm just gonna make some coffee first, so let's go. Today we have 2 poetry book competitions. One is the Joy Bale Boone. That's tomorrow's the deadline. And then the Tom Howard and Margaret Reed, that one also has a deadline for tomorrow. So both 3 poems per submission. There's no other styles that are required. Oh yes, it says for Margaret Reed, a poem that rhymes or has a traditional style. The Tom Howard is for poems in any style / genre. So I'm going to figure out the Tom Howard one because I do have a couple in mind. I got notebooks for days. Look at this. Look at these notebooks. They're like playing a deck of cards.
Looking for the right poem matters. Each competition has certain guidelines to follow, so understanding those specific guidelines will further help find the right poem per submission. Look for a poem that's both relevant to the submission and relevant to the time of year. For example, I wrote a poem about the beginning of spring. It doesn't make sense to submit this poem into a competition that takes place in the fall. So take note of the poems that fall within the structured guidelines. And of course, getting lost in reading old poems is all part of the process. And it's pretty fun too.
I like to write down the poetry contests and highlight which ones I would be entering first. So the ones that are up right now are the ones that are due October 1st. And then I have another one that's due October 31st. And that one is a chapbook. That one has to be 16 to 36 pages, which I could do. Look at all the books that I have. More than enough. I like to write poetry in little notebooks. Well, first I will start out with like a spiral notebook, and then I will continuously write the same poem. Different drafts, of course, and then when I feel like it's complete, then it goes into a notebook, and each notebook, which I was just thinking, they're themed, which they shouldn't be themed. This one isn't themed. I mean, I guess it is. It has a title. I'm going to be publishing it. I don't know when, but I just go through, write my poems, and until the book is full, I mean, I'm done. If the book is full, I go on to the next one. And I do have a bunch of empty books, but then I started theming some, and I got this one. I get a lot of notebooks, and I love getting notebooks. For Christmas, my birthday, whatever, honestly, whenever, I just get notebooks. And my friend Tony, Daisy and Tony, they gifted this to me, and I love the smell of it. It's leather. This one's more of an adventure, like nature poetry book. So I have some nature poems in here, and then the rest are just blank pages, but you know it's gonna be used. And then this one was gifted to me from my mom, and it was just, you know, a Walmart purchase, which is perfectly fine. I love how it closes. And yeah, Yeah, so I titled it The In-Between. I don't know if that's going to be a book title, but it's something. Anyway, I'm just getting distracted now. Yeah, and then I wrote on the inside, book number 4, In-Between. That's one. Ooh. You know, having all these notebooks also makes me feel good because it just, I see the development in my writing, so that's also another thing. And I love seeing myself grow. And this is my most recent one, my most recent poem. And I think, you know, I think this may be a book competition. Let me just write that down. So I need 6 poems total, I believe, because of 3 poems per submission, and that's maximum, which, hey, if I'm paying the $20, I might as well do all 3 for the $20, right?
I think it's very important to submit your craft into competitions, and here are 5 reasons why. The first is professional validation. Being selected or longlisted adds credibility to your work. It signals to readers, publishers, and other poets that your voice has something meaningful to say. Secondly, entering into competitions can offer creative growth because they help you refine your style. Competitions give structure like deadlines and certain themes, which often push you outside of your comfort zone. The third importance is having the opportunity to be published. Competitions offer publication as part of the prize, and this opportunity also allows you to get your work in front of a new audience. The fourth on the list is audience building. Submitting my work helps me connect to the literary community like readers, other poets, and editors, and gives me the potential to branch out beyond the contest submission. Lastly, it helps build confidence and momentum. Recognition can be a huge boost, especially in a creative field where self-doubt is common. This can spark momentum that leads to new projects and goals.
Some poetry competitions have like a line limit or a character limit. I didn't write one down.
I make note of upcoming poetry competitions and enter into 1 to 3 competitions per month. I just search poetry competitions in Google and follow through the links provided. I make note of the ones I'm interested in and that I qualify for. I also like using Poets and Writers or pw.org. This website is useful because it provides details of all submissions, and this website makes it easier for you to stay organized on any upcoming competitions. After deciding on all the poems for both competitions, I do a little happy chant and get on to the next step in the process. I start organizing my poems and pull up both competitions on my laptop to review the guidelines and take note of each poem and which submission they will be going into.
Coffee break. Cheers. Cheers to a cozy day. Cheers to a cozy poetry day.
After organizing the poems, I make sure each poem is typed out exactly how it was written in my notebook. I also double check my grammar as an added precaution before submitting.
This one's titled My Person.
No one tells you how peaceful it feels to find your person, to be in their presence and enjoy them in their everyday, because knowing them is loving them, and that's the true present. All at once, they give you life and they take your breath away. To share a love with every passing breath and every passing day, I can undoubtedly say that I found my person. I can easily love him more in our intimates, but I love us most in our innocence. We love as hard as we laugh, and we hug each other's pain away so it never lasts. We show this world that a love like ours stands a chance. He loves me the way my mom always prayed I'd be loved, the way my ama stays loving me from above. Heavenly is our love. We love, and not in any conventional way. We love past meaning, deeper than our roots, and to the ones that come after us, they will bear our fruits. One day our love will grow old but never fade. It will only blossom freely into our later days.
Coffee for the day. So using the same cup because sustainability matters. You heard? But this is water, so gotta get the H2O with ya, you know? Writing my last one. Let's get to this. Let's finish this, and then I'll upload them. But I record as much as I can before my battery dies.
I loved having you here, and I appreciate your presence so much that I'd love to share my most recent piece with you. Here's a special treat, a little peek into my favorite part of my writing process. This poem is called Human Kindness. We're not meant to get the best version of someone, sometimes too tired or weak from the week behind us, and that's okay. I think we meet the right people at the exact time they're meant for us, even the mean ones, and even if the mean ones are us some days. But when someone's kindness holds space for you, it's relieving to feel soft again, to feel the emotions flood in, and to be seen by someone else's caringness. Through the happy moments, during the breaking points, and throughout every mood in between, when someone shows up and holds empathy for another, it relieves a certain pressure of having to keep it all together. Pay attention to the ones who hold space for all of your emotions. Pay attention to the ones who find comfort in your presence. And pay attention to how you lead through this life. Lead with kindness, because this one gesture only nurtures the idea of being human. To instinctively be there for one another. Thank you all so much for joining me on my first episode of Bree's Poetry Corner. For more poetry content, check out morethanwordsbybree.com. That's all, friends. Until next time.